All right. Let's set the stage.
Okay. All right.
You, Metcalf, Ted Barden.
All three of us.
Moving in together.
We are.
So we were just discussing this before I hit record. I checked 3 times. That's on. It's recording.
Oh,
this
we're
is
going.
recorded.
We're
We're
live.
going. We're
Okay.
live. Okay. So break down what your current situation is.
So I live with a guy and a girl right now, and I've lived with them for like 3 years, 4 years, and they started dating each other during lockdown.
Comics?
No.
No. Okay.
Just people, you know?
just people
Just
being
regular
people.
ass people falling in love.
How'd you find them?
I met the guy through a mutual buddy. I've lived with him for like 5 years now, and
So she came in.
she too was like through a mutual friend as well. So it was like we all kind of knew each other
Okay.
already, and then we got locked in, and then they fell in love with each other while I was there.
What the fuck does that mean for you? That's the most insulting thing possible.
Well, this was the problem. I was very mad about it. I've made my peace, whatever, now with it, and then like we're all good more or less now, but when I asked them about it, I was like, what does this mean for me? And they're like, you're probably going to be pretty uncomfortable for a while. And I was like, well, yeah, fuck yeah, I will.
Wait, okay, so let's give a time frame. Lockdown happens in March.
Yeah. So this was probably mid-April. Almost immediately.
This is a quick transition.
Yeah, but it was almost immediately. Like, I noticed them, like, sitting closer to each other on the couch and doing that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then I asked the guy, because he's one of my good buddies, I was like, what's going on? Like, what's going on between you guys? I've noticed this whole thing. And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
They, like, gaslit me. They pretended it wasn't happening for, like, a couple weeks. So it was like, oh, they think I'm an idiot. You know what I mean?
Is that what gaslighting means?
Gaslighting, I think it's like when someone knows the truth and you pretend that it's not true.
Okay.
That I don't know if that's the dictionary definition, but it's my definition.
I would say there is no dictionary definition.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah,
too.
I don't think there is one.
Yeah.
So if someone gaslights you, you could say, is that cap?
It would be cap.
It would be cap.
No cap
Okay.
would be we're dating. I'd be like, oh, no cap.
Yes,
you know?
yes, yes.
Yeah, but cap. I call cap.
Okay.
You know? And then I was like insulted. I was like, oh, they think I'm dumb. They think I'm in quarantine with you guys.
Right.
You
We
know?
got to do this for at least another 2 months.
Our apartment is roughly the size of this living room. You know how much time and how close we were to
That's a
each
small
other?
couch already.
Yeah.
I'm just saying closer on the couch. Did all
More room for me, though.
Is that how it worked? Did all 3 of you have to sit on the same couch?
Yeah, well, we had
Is it a
this, like-
sectional?
It's a sectional, yeah.
Okay, it's a
yeah.
sectional.
So when I was out there was a little more space, but I was working in my room and stuff, and they got to know each other in the living room. And that's where
I think they've got to know each other in other places as well.
sure, but it all starts in the living
It's
room.
all. I
you
mean,
know?
every apartment romance starts in the living
You
room.
don't have a girl over and you don't immediately bring her to the bed. Well, maybe depends on the context, I suppose.
But when you live in an apartment together, does it start in the kitchen? Does it start in the laundry room?
I wonder, like, that's a good point. Like, because I was in my room a lot working. I don't know where they were. Maybe they were going for walks. Maybe they were hanging out on the roof and they liked the way the sun glistened off of each other.
It's
you
very
know?
possible.
You know, it's crazy. They weren't dating before, and then like 6 weeks in, then it happened.
That's such a but then again, quarantine, it's compressed.
Yeah, like the timeline, like, you know, that's like, and they were living together, you know what I mean? They understood each other's
Yes.
shit, I guess, at that point. So is that the good way to go about this? Start dating someone you live with or move in with someone you're dating?
This is fantastic. Bro, that's a fantastic question. I'm going to say most people don't do it the first way.
Yeah, and then you get surprised
Unless you're in
by
a
people's
sitcom.
shit. Yeah, unless you're on a sitcom, then
Right.
some wacky shit happens.
Right,
you know?
and then you're not a real person. So that's also a factor. That you're a
Right.
scripted character that someone has created.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
How long was she living in the apartment before quarantine?
She signed the lease with us at the beginning of the lease, which was August. She moved in around December because she was like out of the city for a little bit.
So this is only a 2.5, 3 month tenure she had in the
But
apartment.
we knew her for a while before. She was like through a mutual friend and stuff, so we like knew her. There was a relationship.
I'm trying
an
to figure out
extent.
when the spark happened. That's what I'm trying to do with
I've-
these two people I've never met.
I've racked my brain on this for years. I don't know if there's like a triggering moment. I wonder if it was just like they were like, well, we're both here, you know,
Right.
Like, and then like maybe they slowly started to realize that, over time as like we were watching movies together, all three of us, we were all three hanging out a lot.
Yep.
It was like maybe they were like, we're both here. So is that guy, you know? And
Yes.
then, so
and you're that guy.
and I was that guy. Yeah, I had to, I didn't have the privilege like when your friends start dating because they're both my friends.
Yes.
You know, and we're good now. If you guys see this, I'm okay with it.
Been 2 years.
Yeah, we're all good now. But like I didn't have the privilege of like checking in like every couple of weeks and being like, "Oh, this is where they are
Yes.
in their relationship." I just had the honor to see it grow like grass. You know, I had to like see it. I didn't get to watch it evolve from a distance. I was so. Have you ever seen two people fall in love that intimately? That's not you.
No, as a matter of fact, I haven't.
It's truly horrible. It's disgusting.
I would imagine.
Yeah, it was wild.
Did at any point you think, did they get together because they hate me?
I wonder, like, if part of my anger was like, why not me? You know,
Yeah.
Why didn't either of them see me as an eligible bachelor? You know, like Bo's here too. He's got some things going for him. No,
Right.
Yeah,
He's got some hot bits.
Yeah, he's got some bits. You know, he's kind of wacky. He's like he's around.
He's
know?
here. Yeah, right. And he's here, most important.
Yeah.
That's 50% of it.
That's
It's just showing
I would
up.
say that's like 90% of it.
Well, in this case.
Yeah, it was just like a matter of like, hey, we're in the same bubble, you know? It wasn't
Literally.
like- yeah, I don't think I wonder I'm sure maybe there's a reality where they met at a bar or something, you know? And
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll give them that, but that's not how this works.
That's not how it works.
Sat next to each other on the couch.
And you've just been living with them for the last 2 years they've been together.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, kind of a cheap move by them.
Yeah.
Go get your own place.
Yeah, and they finally did. They told me like 6 months ago, and then I was like, thank God, because I would have kept living with them. You know,
Of course.
Like,
Well, yeah. Good price.
Yeah, my rent's amazing. I have
Yeah.
central air conditioning.
You got AC?
You know how hard that is to find?
Where do you
New York?
live?
I live in Bushwick.
They got central air in Bushwick?
I know, isn't it crazy?
That's insane.
Yeah, you think it'd just be a bunch of hot artists, you know? But
That's exactly
some of
what
us
I
are
thought
cool,
it
you
was. Okay,
know?
no, very nice. All right.
We got a dishwasher. Shit's nice.
Okay, you kind of drop classiness there, but yes, central air.
Right, Bushwick's
Okay.
on the up and up, dude.
Well, it can't be lower than it was.
Yeah, the bar was low.
The bar was
now it's
pretty
like
fucking
here,
low.
You know, it's not FIDI, you
Well,
know, but we're getting there.
Look at this, huh? Shout out COVID.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this. COVID, not all
I
bad.
love it. Yeah, listen, it tore apart your apartment, but I got mine, so
Yeah, so the universe kind of balanced out the karma a
it
little
balances everything.
bit. When
out.
bad things happen to me, good things happen to you.
Listen, if that's the case, I hope terrible things happen.
Oh, thanks, man.
You're welcome. Listen, it's all for me.
I appreciate that.
Now, so you're gonna move in with Metcalf and Barden.
Yes.
Is there any part of you that thinks they will also fall in love?
I've told them both. I was like, if you guys start dating, I'm going to be so fucking pissed.
Yeah.
If they start dating, they were like, well, we'd have to be gay first. But I'm like, I've seen crazier things happen.
Metcalf might be there, and Barden, you know, as long as he drops the religion, I think
Metcalf
he's in.
doesn't believe in sexuality. You know, he's
Metcalf's like a human hyena. He's like, not bisexual. What's it called? Because they have both.
pansexual.
They have both parts. A hyena.
Asexual, like a bacteria or something.
Yeah, he's some sort of amoeba.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, he's like the original species that left the ocean. You know.
Yeah. And then he turned into his own type of human.
Yeah, which is a wonderful type of human.
It's a hilarious type of human.
It is. It's a unique being.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
So if they start dating, if you guys start dating, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. But so far so good. You know.
Yeah. Well, you haven't moved in yet.
No,
have
that's
you moved
true.
in?
Well, I live there. They're moving into my apartment. I don't. Have
This
to
is
move.
wait. So this is the apartment. The apartment.
that
Wait.
that they start because my roommates that I live with now are moving out, and then
So you're
Metcalf and
not
Bart-
moving.
I'm switching bedrooms,
All
but
right.
I'm not like moving. I
getting
have
the
the
bigger
biggest
bedroom.
so I was like, one, I'll save money on rent, and I was like, two, these guys are coming to me. The least I could do is.
It's moved to the bigger room.
Yeah. Well, I'm moving into the smallest one. I'm in the biggest one right now.
Wait, you moved to the smallest one?
Yeah.
Why? Why are you
Cheaper
making
rent.
things harder on yourself? You're living with a couple that's engaged, and you're moving to a smaller room in the apartment you already live in.
money, because we're readjusting based on room size, how much each person pays, which my current living situation doesn't do that. We just all pay the same.
That's insane.
I know. It's
You're living in
crazy.
some sort of communist apartment.
Yeah, I mean, we live in Bushwick. We are socialists.
That's true. That
Yes.
is very true.
We are. We don't. We have ACAB all over the place.
Okay, that makes sense.
We don't, but we say it.
Did you have to get the nose piercing with the lease?
If I wanted to sign a 2-year, I would have had to get a septum piercing.
Oh, is that how it works? I had a feeling, yes.
And in certain buildings, yes. If you want a building with artful graffiti on the wall, you have to get at least a septum piercing.
Okay.
I did this to negotiate down. It didn't work.
It didn't work out. No.
they were like, you're kind of bad for nose piercings.
You're bad for you have a bad nose?
Yeah, I do have a deviated septum. Do
Do
you
you?
remember, like, years ago, I did have my septum pierced briefly?
I remember that.
Yeah, I got a deviated septum, and my body immediately rejected the piercing.
Is that how deviated septums work?
Well, I'll show the camera a little bit, then I'll show you. You see, it's like the bridge is kind of like fucked.
I do notice that.
Yeah, I got it because I was like, I got drunk. I was drunk when I got
I
it.
remember you saying that.
And I was like, I could flip it up and hide it, and then no one's going to make fun of me. And then I tried to flip it up, but because my septum's fucked, the piercing couldn't flip back up into my nose.
Hold on. Your plan to not get made fun of
was to get
was to take your deviated septum piercing and flip it up your nose.
and hide it. Yeah.
Okay. Are you aware, you might not know this, that you breathe through your nose?
I am, yes.
Okay. What was the plan there?
You could breathe with a septum piercing.
You could breathe with a septum piercing?
Yeah, and you could breathe with shit in your nose.
A regular septum piercing, yes.
Yeah, you
An
could.
inverted one?
You'd be shocked how many people flip them up into their nose.
I am shocked. What community is flipping it inside their nose?
People want to teenagers, so I can hide it from my parents.
I
That's
still think you would see it, though, right?
if you were
still-
looking for it, I mean, how often are you like really getting up in someone's nose?
I mean, how often am I interacting with people with septum piercings? Not that often.
That's true. You live in FIDA.
Doing pretty well, you.
Yeah.
All right?
It's like
This is Lululemon, all right? I'm not just
Oh, dude,
interacting
you're
with
killing
anyone.
it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's like rent is based on how many people with septum piercings live in the neighborhood. The less people live there, the higher the rent
Yes.
is. It's like you're paying a premium. It's worth it, but it's a premium.
That's true. That's very true. That is a hilarious concept. Historically, the more septum piercings in a neighborhood, the lower the rent.
Yeah, because think about it. It's like tribal and stuff. They weren't paying any rent. Like a lot of like the indigenous people with nose piercings, they weren't paying rent on land.
That's very true.
And they all had septum piercings, or some more than us now.
The tribes have no landlords. That's no one's job in the tribe.
Yeah, I don't think they had like property management in tribes.
No, yeah,
I
no,
don't
no.
think they had to file a complaint with the management company and have like someone come fix their tent.
They have their tent, their fucking,
Yeah.
their hut.
Yeah, whatever, igloos, whatever. We're going intercontinental. I feel like it's all the same,
That is a funny concept. An
Yeah.
igloo landlord.
Contemporary property society in indigenous tribes.
Yeah. So listen, it's melting, and you're like, I don't know. You signed the lease.
Yeah,
What do you want me to tell you?
You signed a lease for a year in an igloo. That's kind of your bad.
Yeah.
That you signed it in elk blood.
Well, that's the only ink they have.
Yeah.
Unless it's their own blood
Which,
or the blood of a child or something.
yeah, I'm not casting assumption. Maybe.
Listen, I'm not saying who's doing what. I'm just saying it might be happening. A goat.
A goat. What animal do you think would have like the best blood to sign a permanent contract?
It's a good question.
Yeah, because all blood seems relatively the same. I've never seen much animal blood. I don't.
I don't encounter. There's two things I don't encounter that often: animal blood and septum piercings, and those
Yeah.
happen to be the two things we've been discussing.
I didn't think we'd be talking about either of these.
No,
things,
that's why.
But here we are. That's the beauty of podcasting.
People ask me all the time, like, "Oh, do you come up with like a script for this?" I'm like, no, in no world could I have predicted we're discussing what animal has the best type of fucking blood.
No, of course not. We were having organic conversation, and then Rich noticed it. He was like, "Pause this conversation." Then we tested the mics, and now we're talking about animal blood.
That's all we're doing.
That's a hell of a host. You could spot good conversation. You're like, this is the starting point.
Well,
of the
that's not
podcast.
what the downloads say there, Bo. But you know what are you gonna do?
That's why I don't pay attention to the downloads. I let the other people do it, and I'm like, "Are we good?" They're like, "We're about the same." And I'm like, "Oh, like the dozen, maybe."
Yeah,
You know?
that's fine.
I'm like, "Hey, we got 14 this time. That's huge." You
Yeah.
know?
Well, 14's good.
Yeah, 14. That's like a 200% increase. You
I know I have more downloads than my company's podcast. That's my competition now.
You have a company podcast.
My company has a podcast, and apparently no one listens.
What do you guys talk about on your company podcast?
Crypto.
Oh, cool.
'Cause that's what we do.
That crypto's cool. Are you a crypto guy?
Yeah, it's 24/7. It's comedy and crypto. That's all I'm doing.
Comedy and crypto.
That's all.
Yeah. Crypto is crypto good right now? Didn't it like drop recently?
Oh yes, yeah. Everything's dropping, baby.
Yeah, inflation affects crypto. I thought that was the point of crypto.
Nah.
I thought it was to avoid government interference and all that shit. And now,
Listen, the first thing people are going to sell when they need food is Bitcoin.
yeah,
That's the first thing. They're like, all right, this was fun, huh?
Yeah.
And then they sell it, and then they buy, supplies.
Yeah, sure. I got an NFT one time.
Ooh.
From I bought like a ticket to the Spider-Man movie, and I was one of the first 80,000 people to buy a ticket to the Spider-Man
Okay.
movie. So AMC gave out a shit ton of free NFTs.
You're another AMC guy.
I'm an AMC guy.
Okay,
yeah.
you know Hardy's an AMC guy?
Yeah, he's got the merch. I'm not quite there. But yeah.
Are you a Stubbs member?
I'm a Stubbs member.
Okay.
Fuck yeah, dude. I go to the movies all the time.
Let me ask you, do you get, because the episode hasn't been released yet, but
Oh.
by this time, the people will know. Do you go on the Stubbs when you buy snacks?
Like,
Do you go on the
reserve it in
Stubbs line?
advance?
Do you do
oh,
the Stubbs
yeah,
line?
the exclusive line with the yellow tarp and
Uh-huh.
shit? Yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay.
I pay for that privilege.
Well, you and Hardy have to have a discussion.
Oh,
He
he
does
doesn't?
not feel like you should be using that.
Why? At an AMC movie, when you're an A-list Stubbs member, at the beginning of every movie, they say thank you for coming. They do that subliminal buy your popcorn messaging and stuff.
Yep.
And then they do this little message where they're like, and to our AMC A-list members, a special thank you to you. I stand up and wave my hand.
As you should.
I'm like, I paid for this.
Yeah.
I paid to do this, so I'm going to do it. The yellow tarp, I'm walking through it, the exclusive line. Sometimes it's not as fast, but I stand to stay in that line.
Hardy feels like that is, if the line is short enough on the regular line,
Uh-huh.
he will go on that one. So
What's
he
his
doesn't cut the
reasoning
others. So
for that?
because he wants to be a man of the people.
Oh, and he's like, this is for the proletariat. I disagree.
Yeah, I would agree with you. But as the people know now, he got a whole bucket of popcorn dumped on his head by a guy that cut him.
That's what fucking happens.
That's what
They're
happens.
Savages. They're savages. People who don't pay for A-list, animals.
No, this was a Stubbs member.
This was a Stubbs member?
Yeah.
Oh, he put a bad name on us.
I know.
That's not cool. He doesn't represent Stubbs members as a whole.
Not
Typically,
everyone. Hardy
very-
might.
Hardy might.
Hardy might.
Hardy might be the exact median of a Stubbs member.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He's
Like-
the middle of the Venn diagram of Stubbs members.
You can pull from Hardy and get to every other type of Stubbs member by pulling a thing from Hardy. You know?
That's right. It's a piece of everyone in a human being.
That's why he stands in line with the people.
That's right.
He's like, I'm a little bit of everybody. He doesn't see a difference. I pay $15 a year to stand in that line.
As you should.
As I should. And I get rewards faster. Does your podcast just turn into AMC commercials sometimes?
Yeah, it's about how often is Hardy on now, like once a month. So yeah, it's about that.
Dude, well, I went to a Regal. I saw the new Top Gun in a Regal. And Regal's
Okay.
got their own kind of membership. And I saw it at a Regal, and I was like, should I fucking switch? Because Regal has 4DX theaters. Do you know what that is?
See, now we get it. Like, you movie people get into, the technicalities of movies. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, 4DX.
I know what IMAX is.
IMAX, yeah, the big screen, big sound, all
Yeah,
that
yeah, I
shit.
know that.
Yeah. Well, 4DX is the 4-dimensional experience. So
What does that mean?
the seats move. They went the seats in
Oh,
front of you
right.
have little vents.
Yeah.
If you watch a Top Gun, it'll shoot air at you when they blast
That's
off.
too much.
No, it was awesome.
Listen, I'm not in a plane. I know I'm not in a plane. Why are we even going to try to even come close to a plane?
Because I'll never be in Top Gun. It's the closest I'm gonna get.
But also, if you are in Top Gun, if you're in the plane, you don't feel the wind. You're inside the plane.
That's true, I suppose. That's a good point. But you do feel the rocking and stuff.
Okay.
You
Do you feel
the
the G-force hitting you?
Yeah, we went 10 Gs.
You go 10 G's in the
yeah,
theater?
dude, someone died.
All right. You got to train to see the movie.
It was so funny though, because like Top Gun. Now, have you seen that movie?
I saw Top Gun.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Go see Top Gun. You probably have. Everyone's seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you bring snacks in the theater and stuff. I got like a beer because now movie theaters have bars.
Wait,
and
you
stuff.
can bring snacks into the
Well,
movie
like
theater?
you buy snacks at
Okay.
concessions, bring it into the theater.
Okay, yes.
I never sneak snacks into the theater because I build rewards fast enough where I'm getting
Oh,
free
of course,
snacks all
right.
the
You
time.
well $15 a year.
Yeah, $15 a year gets me about one free candy a month at the movies.
That's
So-
not bad.
so I make my money back
Yeah.
for sure. But I got like a beer. I got like a tall boy beer.
Yes.
It was a Budweiser can that said Freedom on it. And
Fuck yeah.
I was like, I'm seeing Top Gun. I'm not gonna not get the Freedom beer. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of course, yeah.
And I'm trying to drink the beer, and your seat's just fucking rocking and shit the whole time. So like beer is splashing around
Yes.
and shit. So that's like the one drawback I would say. But it was a blast.
Are all movie theaters selling beers now?
Not all of them, but most of them.
What's a tall boy, a Budweiser Freedom tall boy? What's that going to run you at a Regal?
What do you think?
What am I going to guess? I'm going to guess $12.
I think it was a little more expensive than like a beer at a ballpark. Might have been closer to like 15.
Wow.
I know.
That's robbery.
It is.
I would still do it.
But I'm a fucking
Well,
cock.
yeah, it
you
says
know
freedom.
what I mean? I'm like, I got to support the movies, you know?
Right. Yeah, you're a Stubbs member.
It's a dying industry. I got to support them.
Have you been to it? Because you're a Texas kid, by the way.
What'd your hat say? Oh, Terry Blacks?
Terry Blacks.
Oh, I almost wore an Austin, Texas t-shirt. I should have.
Look at that.
I should have. We'd have been fucking
I was going to
rocking
wear
it.
my Texas Forever shirt because you were coming over, but
dude, if you'd
I have to
told
do
me,
laundry.
I'd have fucking done it. I'd have worn my Texas shit.
Have you been to the Alamo Draft House?
I have a few times.
Okay, what? Because they just opened one over here.
Oh yeah, that's,
What's going on?
They got a membership too.
They got a membership?
Yeah, they
Everyone's
do.
got a fucking
Everyone
membership
does now.
iPick doesn't. I can tell you that much. iPick.
Well, do you have a movie membership? No.
I'm not a movie guy, but recently I went to 2 movies.
What'd you see?
I saw Top Gun.
Nice.
And I saw Elvis.
What'd you think of Elvis?
Great movie. 2 hours 40 minutes.
It was
A little
so
much.
fucking long, dude.
Hardy saw it twice.
He liked it that much?
He saw it 2 times.
Dude, I wanted to leave like halfway through the one time I saw it.
Well, here's my Can I tell you what my problem was with Elvis?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I think there's things that they highlighted that I didn't know. I learned a lot about Elvis in the movie.
Yeah.
I learned that he grew up in a black neighborhood and was inspired by the music.
Yeah.
That's fantastic that they included that. I think it's fantastic they included how his manager took advantage of him.
Yeah.
And kind of brainwashed him.
Yeah.
I didn't know that before.
No.
But what I did know before, Bo, was that he was 24 and Priscilla was 14.
They left that part out of the
They left that part way out of the movie.
They were like, she was a little younger. We're like, they lead you to believe that she's like 19 or 20.
yeah, they're like, oh, he met a teenage daughter of a sergeant. And I was like, name the teen.
How old was she? 14 years old.
14 years old.
Yeah, and he's
He
like
was 24.
Elvis. He's very much Elvis at that point in the military, too.
He's 100% Elvis at that point in the movie.
Like, Hound Dog had come out by the time he was in the war.
Right.
You know? So, like, he meets a 14-year-old girl, and she's like, oh, I know who you are. And he's like, I'm about to find out who you are, teenager.
At
you know?
14.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, that's fine.
Dude, I never understand. Like, have you spent time, like, just through, like, family, friends, or whatever with, like, a teenager recently?
No, and I don't know where you're going with this, so
They're
let's continue.
insufferable. Like, it's insane to me.
Oh, to hold a conversation with a 14-year-old.
to
you're
imagine,
saying.
like, I'm 27, so, like, even, let's say, 24, 14. If I were to meet a 17-year-old, I don't think there's a part of me that would be like, I want to explore you romantically. You're a nightmare to be around.
I understand what you're saying. But Elvis, it was so weird with Elvis. Because he's with the 14-year-old, but then he performs a concert and he kisses everyone on the mouth, which was another thing that they kind of made seem pretty normal.
She seemed okay with it.
And she divorced him. I don't know.
That's
You
true.
did say you left halfway through the movie, Bo.
But she said when she divorced him, I don't care about the women. And then she started throwing pills at him. She's like, it's these, remember?
So many pills.
Yeah,
Is Elvis the first pill addict?
he's got to at least be the first like famous pill addict, you know?
He's got to be.
Like he's like a commercial for pills. Well, he's like
the first half.
yeah, they're like he performed so much and then the second
He's making
half,
so much money, but he's also a prisoner within a theater.
yes.
So,
there were One, I thought the movie was pretty boring. Like, when the music stuff was happening, I thought that was all really cool. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, this is cool. I didn't love that the movie was told from the perspective of Elvis's manager. I was like, we're making a movie about Elvis, but he's not quite the main character in the movie.
But you had to do that to make him seem like the victim.
Sure. Okay. I'll that didn't bother me that much, I suppose, because I didn't love the movie anyways. So,
All right.
To the main things that kind of pissed me off. So, do you know what? Have you ever had like a peanut butter and banana sandwich?
Peanut butter banana sandwich.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like Elvis's creation. Like, that was like his favorite food. He ate it all the fucking time.
Okay.
We didn't get one of them in the movie. He
Okay.
doesn't eat one peanut butter banana sandwich in the movie. I walked into the movie, it was like, we're gonna see peanut butter banana sandwich, and I didn't see one. I was kind of pissed.
I like how my priority was, hey, they didn't describe that he's a child predator. And you're like, you think that's bad? How about how he invented a sandwich and didn't give him credit?
We didn't see it. And then, like, it was such a, like, long journey to, like, the end of the movie, you know? And I
Yes.
felt like we spent a lot of time doing things that we could have brushed over. And they kind of brushed over the last, like, 2 or 3 years of his life where, like, you know, when Elvis died, he had 3 months of constipation backed up inside his body.
Well, that's why he died on the toilet,
'cause
which
he
they
tried to
didn't
squeeze
mention.
it out. Yeah, well, show us that. That's the stuff where I
Well,
was
maybe
like,
don't
that's
show
what
us that, but bring it up.
Yeah, talk about it. They were just like, oh, Elvis died 2 years later. It was like, yeah, how? You know?
Right.
Like, I want to hear about the constipation. I want to, like, hear about him dying on the toilet. I want to I just was like, I feel like that's, like, really interesting, like, drug Elvis. Like, really, like, the lowest Elvis can go Elvis. I didn't feel like we got enough of that.
Well, there's 2 things that will really back you up. Prescription pills and peanut butter banana
Hey,
sandwiches.
bananas got fiber in them, dude.
Yeah, but not when you combine them with peanut butter. It's
No.
all stuffed up.
He also apparently put mayonnaise on them, too.
What?
Yeah. Peanut
Really?
butter banana mayonnaise. Yeah, dude.
I know Dale Earnhardt Jr. eats banana. It's a peanut butter and mayo or banana and mayo sandwiches.
Yeah, like
Some sort of.
my
Is that a
da-
normal thing?
I ate them a lot as a kid. I've eaten them as an adult recently.
Hold
It's
on.
really good.
Were you eating a lot?
Peanut butter banana sandwiches.
Okay.
Not with the mayonnaise. My dad
That-
would do it with mayonnaise though.
Hold the phone. What?
Dude, yeah, my dad would like mash up a banana with a fork and then like put like a spoonful of peanut butter banana in like the bowl and like mix it up and do it as like a spread. I never liked it with mayonnaise on it. I didn't fuck with it with the mayonnaise on it.
No, you're not. Where is the mayonnaise coming into this equation?
You put it on the sandwich.
So your dad would mash up a banana, put peanut butter into the bowl, spin it around.
Yeah, mix it up.
Centrifuge the banana with the peanut butter.
Make it one spread.
Great.
Yeah.
He put that on the bread.
Yeah.
And then he'd add mayo?
Yeah. That was the Elvis way. That was how Elvis did it.
And did he say that as he was making the sandwich?
Yeah, we'd be like, that's gross. He's like, this is how Elvis did it.
You're such southern trash. You're such southern garbage. To be like, listen, is it disgusting? Yes. The king of rock does it.
The king of
Who was
rock
homeless, by the way, growing up.
and Southern trash, really. You know, like Elvis, like pretty trashy guy.
That's what I'm saying. He grew up homeless, and you're like, listen, a famous homeless guy used to eat this.
My dad's parents were like, what is it like indentured where like you like farm on someone's property and
Like a serf.
yeah, like kind of like modern day serfdom. I can't remember what they call it, but
Indentured servitude. Yeah, I get you,
yeah,
right?
yeah, that's how my dad's dad grew up and stuff.
Okay.
So we grew up. The lineage is poor. My dad's like his dad fought World War II, came back, went to school. That's how he went to college. And then my dad and my uncle were like the first 2 on his side of the family to like go to college.
Okay.
Like, from like their parents paying and stuff. And there's a lot of trash back there, you know. Like it goes back. It's like we kind of escaped it a little bit. You look at me and you're like, you're not Southern trash. Then you hear me talk about like peanut butter and mayonnaise. And you're like, oh yeah, it's there. You know,
Oh, you're living with an engaged couple and you have a nose piercing. We think you're garbage. all
just a
right?
different. I'm hip garbage. You know.
That is kind of hip now. Like being garbage is in.
For sure. Like when I was in college, I remember like I wanted to like be into like microbrews and stuff. It's like, oh, that's cool. Now that
Well, you went to what? Boulder.
Yeah, I went to Boulder. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'd go to a bar on a Saturday night and order an IPA, which is like I'd say a trash move in a different way. A little
Oh
bit.
no, because you're a year younger than me. IPAs were big then.
Yeah, but like a not like a bar where you sit down at a table with friends. It's like a bar where people are drinking Red Bull vodkas and shit. And I'd be like, yeah, I'll have the IPA. People were like, you're drinking IPA right now? I was like, I guess, yeah, it's good beer.
Listen, if you're at a bar where others are drinking Red Bull vodkas, you're actually the least garbage
Yeah, that's
of
true.
of the group.
When I was in college, I read this article on Vice that said that Red Bull vodkas do the same thing to your brain that cocaine does. Like, your brain reacts the same way, and then it, like, basically recreates cocaine. So I sent that article to, like, 3 of my buddies, and we were like, dude, let's try this. Let's see what happens, because cocaine's expensive.
Of course.
And we did it, like, 4 or 5 times, and every time we drank only Red Bull vodkas going out, we finished the night in a strip club. So it's true.
Well, I don't know if that's true. Did they say that in the article?
No, they never. But I mean, think about. I mean, do you go to a strip club if you're not on cocaine? Are you a strip club guy? Do you
Not
like
a
going to
strip club. I never understood the appeal.
I went those times in college, and it was kind of fun then. But I still wasn't like this. I wouldn't want to hang out here all the time. Now I have no desire to go to a strip club. I'm like, I've seen it. At first it was more out of curiosity than anything. I was like, I want to see what this is all about.
Like an anatomy lesson?
Well, just like, what is a strip club like? You know, I wanted to see
What's
it.
strip club culture is what you're
Yeah.
saying. Yes.
The first time I went, I became Facebook friends with a stripper. Her name was Sparkles. We became Facebook friends.
Sparkles?
Yeah.
Was she a miniature horse?
She got braces.
Did she have braces?
After I had met her, I'd like see her on
Wait,
Facebook
what?
every now and then. She was able to afford braces with stripper money, so good for her. Braces are expensive, dude.
Yeah. I'm aware of the price of braces. Was this strip club ran by Elvis?
No, it was if it was written by Elvis, it'd probably be way sadder. It was like a bunch of college girls. It was like in the heart of our college town. Like
Is
at the
Boulder a college town? I've never been to
It's
Boulder.
like half and half. I feel like the college, like if you want it to be a college town, it is a college town. But if
Okay.
you want to live there and you don't want to live in a college town, you don't have to. You
Okay.
can like live far enough away from campus and kind of live like an adult.
Okay.
But if you want to live like right by the campus and do the college thing, it's a college town.
Interesting.
It's like a big enough city where it can
You
have
could
a-
play both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people, like a lot of non-college kids or people related to the university live there too. It's a great town, man. You should go.
What made you leave Texas? Is Texas forever?
Well, yeah, I feel like it's one of those things where you kind of like hate where you grow up, you know? Like
It's Texas.
dude, it's hot.
Wait, where are you from? Are you from Austin?
I'm from Dallas. Austin's cool. Dallas, I think like Dallas saw New York City and they were just like, oh, it's a big city. We just got to make a big city without like realizing, oh, people like New York because of the character.
Yeah.
And it's got like a lot of shit going on. They're just like, we'll just build tall buildings.
It's a little sterile.
Yeah, there's like nothing going on. They've tried to make it cooler since I've left, but I went to Auburn for 1 year,
You went to Auburn?
my freshman year of college.
Oh, wow.
It's like a big family school, and I went.
What does that mean?
Like my dad went there, my
I
my
gotcha.
cousin went there. It's like a lot of people in my family went there.
Okay.
So I grew up liking their football team. So I moved to Alabama for football as a fan, not even like as a player.
Well, first of all, that's very Texas of you.
Yes, yeah, it's in me, you
Yeah.
know. But I went there, and then like the day before, like within weeks of me moving to Alabama to go to Auburn, all these articles started coming out, like most conservative college campuses in the country. Like I was like, yeah, I know I'm moving to Alabama, but it's college, you know, I'll meet cool people and stuff. And then like the list were most conservative campuses in the country: 1 Auburn, 2 BYU, 3 Army,
It was over BYU?
and the service academies.
Well, the service academies. Okay. BYU is.
BYU.
It's
was
another level.
voted- and BYU, you have to sign a contract saying you won't have sex before marriage.
And you can't drink caffeine.
You can't drink caffeine?
Mormons, no caffeine.
That's fucked up.
No coffee.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Like Texas, we had a lot of Mormons actually, so I like knew a
Really?
lot of Mormons. Yeah.
Well, you had Taylor Koresh. Is that his name?
Taylor Koresh.
Waco. Who was the leader of Waco? Taylor Koresh.
Oh, was he
That's
Mormon?
Taylor Koresh. No, that's just a
Yeah.
Christian fundamentalist, but
Yeah.
that's all the same thing. to
Yeah,
me.
they get their own planet and shit
Yeah.
when they die.
Right.
Do you know that happens to Mormons when they die?
Well, isn't the not more? I was thinking Scientology. Wait, so they get their own planet when they die?
Yeah, that's part of why like they do the polygamy thing and stuff. This is based on I've had one conversation with a Mormon
That's
kid
more than
asking
me.
about it. I was like, so what do you guys believe? They believe in like the same God and stuff that like Christians do and stuff.
But don't they believe that there's another part of the Bible that was discovered in Rochester?
Yeah, well, when I don't know if you know this, but when Jesus died, the 3 days he spent in the tomb, he came to North America. Do you know that?
So he died, came over to Rochester, got
Dropped
a
some
garbage
shit
plate,
off, yeah.
and then
and then went back and showed everyone that he rose and went to heaven.
interesting.
So Jesus came to North America and left the tablets in Rochester. That it wasn't Brigham Young. What was the guy's name? I know it from South Park. I can't remember.
I know
his
from
name.
South Park too. I'm seeing the South Park character in my head.
Yeah, dum da dum dum dum.
Yep.
I can't remember his name, but they went to Utah because everyone else in America was kind of like, I don't know what the fuck to do with these weirdos. So they just sent them all to Utah because they were like, we're not going to expand that far out anyways. We'll just ship them out there and they can kind of run amok and do their own thing. And then they started in Mormon tradition. You practice polygamy because when you die as a man, you inherit a planet, more or less, or like a universe or something. I believe they refer to it more as a planet, and your responsibility is to populate the planet. So
but you know what? This makes sense now.
yeah, that's like
If you
why they do it.
believe in this, polygamy makes sense.
Yeah, you're like, we got to populate a planet, you know?
But then again, how big's the planet? You know?
Yeah, is it like a dwarf planet like Pluto? Like how many? You probably wouldn't take that many people to populate a planet like Pluto, you know?
Well, I don't know how big Pluto is.
I don't either. I just know it's small relative. You know, it's still probably pretty fucking big.
Is this why NASA keeps sending more and more telescopes into space to take pictures?
Trying to find the Mormons,
of
dude.
trying to get more planets? Like, all right, here's another one, and
Yeah,
we're
it's run by a
more
bunch
like
of Mormons.
Right? Yeah, NASA's run by Mormons.
They're just scoping out galaxies. They're like, oh, that one looks great.
They're doing real estate research.
Yeah, they're just scoping it out. You know, like when you name, you know how you could go online and you can name a star.
Yes.
That's a Mormon started thing too. So the Mormons can pick.
Really?
No.
Oh.
But
Listen, it's wild.
might as well be. You know?
Right, it might as well be.
If you were Mormon and you died and you got a planet, what would you name your planet?
I don't know. I mean, first thing I would probably do is get a McDonald's franchise.
Yeah, a franchise. You got to.
You got to start with the McDonald's
and
franchise
those
on your
things
planet.
do well anywhere.
Anywhere.
Like you see McDonald's in fucking like the furthest corners of Alaska, and they're bringing it.
They're
in.
doing great.
Yeah,
So that
I think that's a smart business decision.
yeah, I don't know what the name of my planet would be, but that's the first thing I would do is start a McDonald's franchise.
Sure, that's smart.
And
yeah.
then second thing would probably get a Sweet Green outpost.
So, yeah, because you can't just live off McDonald's.
No, yeah, you
the
gotta
women
have-
gotta look good. They get the salad. The dudes
Right,
get
right.
McDonald's. That makes sense.
That's probably what I would start with, and then we go from there. I don't know what the name would be.
What how would you run it? What would be your philosophy to running a planet in terms of government structures and culture? Like, what's the ideal Rich Apple planet?
I think there would be taxes.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then all of the taxes go into the high school athletics
Yeah,
system.
sure, yeah.
That's what
Okay.
we would do. We would set up a big training facility, a big field house.
Like an NFL franchise, but for high school.
Basically trying to be like, I'm trying to make my planet into like Westlake.
Yeah, Westlake, Texas.
Westlake High School.
Okay,
That's
okay.
that's my name of my
Westlake.
of my planet is Westlake.
Westlake,
it's new
Texas.
Westlake. It's new Westlake,
Westlake,
Texas.
Texas.
And I just want my entire planet to operate like a small Texas high school football team.
Are you a big Friday Night Lights guy? I was gonna say it seems like it. Yeah.
Yeah, and we would have you know how in North Korea there's a picture of Kim Jong-un in everyone's house? There would be a picture of Tim Rickens in everyone's house.
Tim Rickens. Yeah. Okay.
We
I
would have
like
a
that.
statue, and you'd have to put flowers by the statue.
What would the mascot be?
Tim Riggins.
Tim Riggins.
Yeah, it would be the new Westlake Riggins.
The Riggins.
Rigginses.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. I like
Or
that.
Coach Taylor's.
Coach Taylor.
Yeah. We could also do that. Oh, no, it's working. We're working on it.
Yeah, and then you you like assign people, like people go in, like girls go into dance camps and stuff, so they could be cheerleaders.
Yeah. No, there's also female football.
Okay, and it's taken just as seriously.
It's taken just as seriously, maybe more. I don't know yet. We'll see what the talent level's like.
The rules of female football require way more physicality. Like, it's a way more physically dangerous sport.
It's way more mental game. It's a lot of verbal
like
trash
chess a little
talk. Yeah.
more. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, we would have. Well, I don't know if we'll have a drum line.
Ooh, you would. It's Texas, dude.
I know. I would have to get some black wives.
Okay.
You know, I
okay.
can't just have exclusively white wives and then expect a good drum line.
That's true.
So I would
That's
have to
true.
get some black
So
wives.
it'd be a little more diverse than like a Texas farm football town.
Yeah, it's not. Permian. Yeah, it's not as small as Permian. It's probably a little bit bigger than Permian.
Okay, gotcha.
Westlake. Westlake's big, no?
Yeah, Westlake. That's Austin.
Baker
you know.
Mayfield, Drew Brees.
Yeah, you got some folks coming from over there.
Yeah, so that's it.
My high school, our biggest like football draws in the NFL. Do you know who Chase Daniel is? NFL
Yeah.
He went to my high school.
Interesting.
Yeah, South
Okay.
Lake, Texas.
Southland.
South Lake.
South Lake.
Yeah.
Westlake, South Lake.
Yeah, what it turns out in Texas, you just kind of name where you are relative to the closest lake.
Okay,
that's the name of the town.
that's it. That's how we do it.
We're south of the lake.
Well,
you know?
Austin, Lake Austin.
Yeah, there you go.
There
yeah,
you go. We figured it out.
they're on the lake. Yeah.
What Sugarland?
Sugarland, is that Houston?
I think it's
No.
Houston-ish.
I'm not sure. Texas is so fucking big.
It's a big place, huh?
That, like Houston, Austin, it's like 4 or 5 hours from Dallas. But like some of the other suburbs and shit. If you're good at football, we won. We liked to call ourselves a dynasty. I don't know how true that is. We did win a lot of state championships though. Won my junior year of high school, and I think
That's big.
it was huge.
You playing Cowboy Stadium?
Played in Cowboy Stadium.
Were you on the team?
Fuck no, dude.
Oh, okay.
I played football 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. But I wasn't good enough or athletic enough. Like, that was back when they still had, like, ABC teams. And I was
You
always...
had C teams?
Yeah, C
Oh,
team.
wow.
And I was always the best on C team.
Wait, so C, could you be a senior and play on C?
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyone
really?
who wanted to be on the football team could. Like, if you
I
want,
get what you're saying.
But would you play? No. But you could go out there and do all that shit. And then after 8th grade, I had like enough self-awareness at the time to be like, I wasn't athletic enough to play anything but defensive tackle.
It's not an easy position.
It's not, but when you're on C team, you just kind of just push. You don't have to know any strategy.
Right,
and
right,
shit.
right.
But like in 9th grade, everyone practiced together, so I'm running drills with like kids who had already
Chase
been
Daniel.
well into puberty and shit. Yeah, that kind of stuff. And like people 50 pounds heavier than me and shit that are in my grade, and I'm like, I can't fucking do this. So going into 9th grade, I was like on the fence about whether or not I wanted to do it.
Okay.
So I told my parents, I was like, I don't know if I want to do it. I just know I'm not that good, and I don't know if I care enough to like keep doing this.
Fair.
Like going through 2-a-days and shit. Like it was
Yeah.
a nightmare, dude. And my mom was like, why don't you just sign up, go to a couple practices. If you decide you don't want to do it after a couple practices, we'll take you out. So I went to the first 2-a-day practice, the first practice of 2-a-days. We had to do that shit. It sucked. Like show up at like 6 in the morning, and then again at like 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah, sick.
It was so fucking
was so cool.
stupid. It's fucked up. It's like, I guess they do it to like weed people like me out.
That's
you know?
exactly why they do it.
Fuck this
At least
shit.
you're aware.
So my mom picks me up from the first practice, and she was like, how was it? And I was like, I don't want to do this. I just don't want to do this. And my mom looks over at me and she goes, Ballews don't quit. And then
Ballews
made me
don't
play out the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I was so pissed. I was like, I'm so fucked, dude. Like people, like I was friends with a lot of the guys who were pretty good, but like they would like fuck with me because they running drills with me and shit. You know, they would
Right.
let me have it, and I was like, this fucking sucks, dude. First time I smoked pot was during football season. We all snuck out of the stadium and went into a forest.
During the game?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
Because I was on C team, so every Thursday night we played.
You play on Thursday night?
Well, because this was like JV and shit.
I didn't even know Thursday night was an option. We played Saturdays.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Varsity got Friday nights.
Whoa, Friday Night Lights.
Dude,
There's
yeah,
a reason
that's
for the
varsity.
name.
That's varsity.
Yeah,
if you were
that's
freshman
big.
and sophomore, I don't know about sophomores, but freshmen we had ABC teams. So C team.
Wait, so just freshmen had an ABC team?
Yeah, that's how many kids like to play football. in Texas.
Holy
We had
shit.
so many kids playing football. And C team would play first, B team, then A team.
Okay.
But they made B and A team watch all the games. So they just made B and A team watch all these like squubs who can't throw football and stuff.
Right.
My buddy was a linebacker on C team, and they didn't have anyone who could throw a football like for C team quarterback. And
Okay.
one day they pulled him out of linebacker practice. And the coach was like, "Hey man, why don't you play a little catch with me?" And he threw like 2 spirals, and he's like, "You're starting at quarterback this week."
All right.
And he threw like 3 picks in the first like quarter.
Oh, okay.
They're like, "We're so fucked."
I thought you were going to be, and now that kid's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, now he's Patrick Mahomes. It's crazy. Patrick Mahomes and I are boys, dude. But so B and A team would have to watch C team, and they would just like condescendingly cheer for us the whole
Yeah.
time. It was very embarrassing. But me and all the C team, some of my friends on C teams, we snuck out into the forest during the A team game because coaches, they're so locked in when A team's going.
Yeah.
You know, we're like, we could sneak out for a little bit. We went and smoked pot
Good.
in the forest. It was the sketchiest thing I've ever done.
Does every school have an ABC system?
Well, I went to a big high school. I'm sure like ones of my size did. Eventually, it just became varsity and junior varsity.
Well, of course.
But at least 9th grade, because I think there were a lot of people like me who were pretty good in like Pee Wee and like as far like I was C team, fringe, B team in middle school.
Okay.
So once I got to high school, I think they kind of do it and then like just to give kids one more shot to grow or decide they want to keep playing. or
Right,
not.
right.
And then I think once you hit like sophomore, but there were some kids that were so good in 9th grade they would play varsity.
Wow.
Like you could play varsity. in
Ninth grade Texas playing varsity?
Yeah, I think
That's the dream.
I think the quarterback, our quarterback who I graduated with, I think he might have backed up varsity freshman year. He definitely was on varsity sophomore year.
Ninth grade, backing up varsity QB?
Well,
QB1?
His dad was like in the MLB and shit. You know, we had some of these kids.
This
and
is
stuff, so
sick.
just like the genetics that these kids had.
That's sick.
At such a disadvantage, you know?
Oh, yeah, you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
no.
I don't have a lot going for me genetically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got some. Listen, you got some bits.
I got bits, but physically,
Yeah, you
I'm
don't
like,
got much.
I don't want to burden a future generation with like getting gout when you're 24.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's something that I can die with me, and I'd be doing future generations of Blues a favor. Just
Right,
let's
weed
get
that
rid of
out.
this shit
Stop breathing like a pug.
now. Yeah, like the deviated septum, the fucking gout, all
Right.
this shit. Well, I won't pass that on.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know, but I'm also like, I could show a kid Pulp Fiction and make him pretty cool at a young age. You know?
Yeah, in Texas, there's not a lot of value in that.
No,
there's not much.
Texas, you just have to be good at sports.
That's so sick.
You would have loved it, man.
Dude, if money didn't matter, I would be a high school football coach in Texas.
You would be an amazing high school.
I would be. I follow a guy on TikTok who's a high school football coach, and he breaks down his day. It's the coolest thing in the world.
You would love it, just yelling at little kids. And
Oh
shit.
my god! I don't know how he's making money, and I don't know if he's making money. But God, is it fun?
Would you? What subject would you teach during the day? 'Cause
I feel like you have to teach history.
history, geography, something that they don't value that much. You know?
Yes.
There were a couple coaches in my experience in high school. The head coach of the varsity team, that was his full-time job. He didn't have to teach.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm from like upper middle class suburbs, so it's like there was some money coming into the district and stuff.
That's
So-
insane.
So the head football coach, it's basically like the way they ran it was basically like a D3 college football program.
That's sick.
It was wild, like facilities and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Crazy shit. We
A
had
weight room? Did you have the logo on the squat racks?
Yeah, dude, we had an indoor
Yeah.
practice facility.
Yes!
Do you remember that show, Two-A-Days, that MTV reality
Do
TV
I
show?
remember the show Two-A-Days? Yeah, I remember the show
What was the
Two-A-Days.
town in Alabama?
It was in Birmingham. Hoover High School, the Hoover Pirates.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, Coach Propes.
Double life. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very much so.
That was so crazy.
And then no one talked about this. He had a show on Netflix.
he didn't. Was he
Coaching a
Last Chance
team.
U?
No, it was Titletown. And he was married to the woman who he had the affair with in two-a-days.
Oh, really?
They don't talk about this.
They kind of bury that under
They
the rug.
really, you had to be a two-a-days fan to know
To
that
pick
was
up on
going on.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
We loved two-a-days because we moved to Texas from Florida, so this was all like we kind of like would observe it anthropologically as like a family, kind of like we were just so fascinated by like Texas high school culture and stuff. And it is pretty contagious. It sucks you in if like they're good and stuff. But apparently, legend in my town was that the producers of that show approached my high school first.
What?
And asked, like, wanted to do my high school.
And they said no?
And the coach said no.
Do you know what? That's how you know he's a better coach.
Dude,
You can't have any distractions.
No, he wasn't like an egomaniac like that Coach Probst guy.
Yeah, he's an
was and stuff.
egomaniac, yeah.
But, I mean, he probably was. I mean, but after we won state when I was in 6th grade, we won state the first year I moved to Texas. So it was all very exciting.
That's got to be the most exhilarating. You move to Texas and you win state?
Dude, it was crazy.
What are you? Because Texas has weird classes. Were you class 5A or whatever the fuck?
5A, yeah.
Were you really?
One. Yeah.
That's the biggest title.
Yeah.
Yo!
We won it when I was in 6th grade, and then I can't remember if we won in middle school, but we did win it when I was a junior. But
what are you doing here? Go back.
dude, it wasn't for me, man. I love sports and stuff, but like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I wasn't good enough at sports. Like, really, like, I started like drinking and smoking pot in high school. I quit like giving a shit after a while. Like, I would still go to games and stuff, but I wasn't like, I kind of faded away from,
Yeah, you
like,
could be a
high school
coach.
athletics. I don't know. I think I'd be better front office guy.
Oh, yeah, and in high school, that's not really an option.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas high school may be.
Yeah, I'm sure we had like an athletic director and shit, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But the coach, after we won state that first time, got hired by a Division I college to be the head coach, University of North Texas. D1, Conference
North
USA.
Texas, the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got hired by them from high school to be a head coach. He bombed,
Well.
but that was still crazy. Like,
That's the Coach Taylor pipeline.
yeah.
That's what Coach Taylor did. Holy shit.
Yeah.
This is it. You lived in a TV show.
I know. That's part of why I haven't watched Friday Night Lights. I'm like, it would hit a little too close.
It's just like a short, fat kid walking.
kind
You're
of
like,
in
is
the
that me?
background, yeah.
What the fuck is that?
But I mean, is Friday Night Lights, that's Odessa Permian, right?
The movie.
The movie, the TV show's somewhere else, but it's like
It's a fake town in the
it's
show.
like West Texas and shit. I'm from like Dallas suburbs, so it's like different.
It's the middle of the state, right, Dallas?
Dallas is considered northeast Texas, so Texas is
Oh.
like East Texas, Northeast Texas, Hill Country, the Panhandle, and West Texas. Those may not all be correct, but Texas is kind of
That's
broken up into like 5 regions.
Okay.
And it's in the Texas state constitution that at any point in time they can break up into 5 states if they want to,
Really?
and those would be the states more or less.
Sick.
El Paso is the only one who wants to do it. El Paso wants to leave Texas and become part of New Mexico. Like all the
Really?
time. Yeah, because I mean, culturally it's so different. Politically, it's so different that they don't like feel like reflected in like state level politics and stuff as much. I don't know if they actually want to, but that's what I'd heard, and it makes sense. It's a different place than like Austin or Dallas, you know.
Interesting. I was just in Austin, hence the hat.
Yeah,
I went to the
Austin?
state capitol.
Yeah, I've been to the state capitol a few times. We used to like every time we went to Austin, we would go. Me and my buddies, we would like do a different kind of pose. Like one time, we stripped down to our underwear and stood in front of the state capitol.
That's
and shit.
fun.
It was fun. It was
Yeah,
a good
that's
time.
Texas.
Bathrobes, different kind of shit.
Yeah, it's
you
a good time.
What'd you like? What do you think of Austin?
And I'm working on a bit about this because it's hyped up.
Yes.
The bit. What I've been saying on stage is it's a great place if you've never been somewhere before.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great way of
Because
putting
it's
it.
like it's nice,
Yeah.
but it's like there's still nothing there.
Yeah, you're still in the middle of nowhere, Texas. It's just like there's an oasis, and then
But like, not even. Like, yes, the tacos are good. Terry Black's, a couple good barbecue places, live music. I didn't see a hospital.
I'm trying to remember if I did. I was there in April. I'm sure I saw a hospital. You
I
know?
don't think I saw a hospital. Every building has one of those 3 things or a combination.
It feels like a fake place, kind of. You know what I mean? Like like, because now Austin, like, so many people from California have moved there and stuff.
So many people from just all over. I didn't meet any Texan.
No. Like, I have some friends who live there, so I know, like, how to hang out with Texans when I'm in Austin.
Well.
But it doesn't feel like, it feels like people from LA move there and they're like, all right, we're going to turn this into an LA annex or whatever. And they're just like trying to make it Los Angeles. And it is just like everyone's moved to Austin and it doesn't really feel like Austin, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I never lived there. I've just been there a bunch.
I don't know. My buddy lives in the area where there's like a Barry's boot camp, and
Yeah.
I get what's it like, and he's doing real estate there. So I'm like, I get why
He's
you're
probably
here.
killing it
Oh, he's
then,
killing.
huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's killing it. So I'm like, I get. It's very nice. He's paying the rent he would pay here. His place is insane.
He's
there.
got like a pool and a gym.
It's
and,
stupid how nice it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen. Okay, you could go paddle boarding.
Paddleboarding was cool. I did that last
You did
semester.
that down the Colorads?
I thought that was awesome.
That was a good
Yeah.
time. I did the tubing down the San Marcos.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. That's one thing I've never done.
That was a good time.
I've heard that's a blast.
But then you're like, okay, can I get anything else but barbecue and tacos? And they're like, nah, dude. Like, this is kind
Yeah.
of what we're doing.
What did you want? Like, what were you, just anything else, or was there like something you were kind of
I'll
craving?
eat that because I'm in Austin. But like, if I lived in Austin, I was like, hey, is there like a good sushi place? They're like, I don't even know what that is. What are you talking about?
My buddy took me to a good sushi restaurant, but like, yeah, it is like so invasive almost with how much tacos and barbecue there is.
It's so much.
That it's like there almost is nothing else. By the time I left Austin, I detoxed. I was like,
I'm still detoxed. It's been a month. I'm
yeah,
still detoxed.
like just the amount of just like beef and cheese and
Yes.
you know, I mean, it's all great food, but you do eat like too much of it. You're like, I kind of need like a salad, bro. You know,
They don't have that there.
No,
They don't have that.
If they do, it's covered in mayonnaise. You know what I
Right,
mean?
and that's fine. That's fine.
It's good.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's great.
It's actively really good.
Right.
Yeah.
I did, and it was like 105 every day.
It's so hot.
And people are like apologizing because like it's usually not this hot yet, and I'm like, I was expecting this. Like
You know,
this is what I was coming for.
People say that, but that's not true. People are like, gets hot. It's got hot so early. No, it's always fucking hot.
It's always hot.
You know, the first summer my family lived in Dallas, there was 30 days in a row where it was over like 102. The first
That's a
summer.
lot.
It was Texas heat it's something else, man.
It's stupid.
It like New York gets hot. Like New York gets like muggy and whatever, but there's something about like being in the dry heat of Central Texas where you're like, holy fuck.
And one thing, because like I went to Scottsdale. Scottsdale, you will go around. They always have the water, the misters
Yeah.
outside every store.
Yeah.
Not in Austin. They're
No,
like,
dude.
fucking deal with it, dude.
You're just seeing like plants dying and shit. Like
That's
they're
it.
like you can only water certain times a day and
Oh, is that
shit.
true?
That might be California.
Yeah, that might be California. They're bringing their fucking liberal laws to Austin with their water bullshit.
Yeah.
And then because I went for work, so I stayed at the Hilton downtown for a bit.
Oh, nice.
And then
That's
I
a
extended the
Is
trip.
that the one with the pool on the roof?
It's not on the roof, but it's like
It's like not on the ground floor though, right?
yeah,
Like,
it's up there, 20th floor or something.
yeah.
It was a nice little situation.
Lots of hot people hang out at that pool.
Lot of good-looking people.
Yeah.
And then we stayed on Rainy Street.
Rainy Street's cool. I like Rainy Street a lot.
It's cool, but it's changed apparently so much.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know it like that to be like, yeah, I remember the old Rainy, you know?
Right.
When I went in college, it was like all about 6th Street. You know, it was all about like going on New Year's Eve to fucking the most
Oh, really?
crowded bar in the world. Every New Year's Eve we went to Austin because we were home for Christmas break. And we had friends who went to like the UT, so we would go stay in their apartment on New Year's Eve and like go out in Austin.
That was the first thing I did when I went for work for the first part. And then the day we weren't working, I was like, I'm going to University of Texas Stadium.
It's a cool stadium.
It blows my mind because here we don't give a fuck about football.
Yeah,
well, college
especially
football.
college. Yeah, well, NFL, but like college.
Giants, Jets, yeah, but everyone else could go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
So I went and I was like, this is like a real state, like a gigantic stadium.
It's probably bigger than most NFL stadiums.
Yeah.
It's
just on the camp. Like, you go to social studies and then the football stadium's there.
Like
that blows my mind.
A lot of college football stadiums, like I think Auburn's football stadium is like 86,000
That's
people.
insane.
Like and whenever you do like, I don't know if you went and looked at like a big college football school and you were looking for colleges, but you go on like a tour of like Auburn University or like the University of Alabama or whatever the fuck. Like, you walk around the campus, they'll take you by the football stadium because it's, like, the big thing. They're like, every Saturday we have a home game, Jordan-Hare Stadium becomes the third largest city in Alabama.
That's insane.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
Yeah.
Like, the population of a football stadium would be, like, the fifth largest metropolis in a state.
Right.
It's, like, bananas.
Well, then you find out, like, the coach is the highest paid public figure.
In most states, at least in the South, it's fucking crazy. Like, I think... Auburn's coach probably makes $7 million a year. Nick Saban's, and he's not even that good of a coach.
No.
Nick Saban makes probably north of 12. Like, it's fucking crazy.
And the players make fucking nothing.
Yeah, they get NIL deals now.
Well, now, yeah.
Which NIL deals are all kind of bullshit too, you know.
I mean, they're just paying the players.
Yeah, just pay them formally, you know. Like I think they need to regulate that shit a little bit more. Like the NIL thing, because it seems like I believe college football players should get paid, but the way like these schools are kind of like manipulating the system to like be like, yeah, we're paying you $700,000 for like charity appearances,
right.
Like, just pay them, like taxable income, where they're like get a paycheck, and then you can just kind of like keep better track of what's going on.
Exactly.
You know? And then still the endorsements and stuff, obviously, but like the fact that it's not it's not like salaried, but they still get these like crazy deals that are just like weird recruiting tactics and stuff. I'm like, it feels a little weird to me.
Well, the people, I think the main argument, they're like, well, if you're going to pay the football players, how much are you going to pay women's basketball? And then how much are you going to pay? Like, oh, you pay them nothing because no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, I mean...
Men's rowing shouldn't make any money because it doesn't generate income.
Right. Like, think about how much money Duke's basketball program makes for that university.
Right.
Or, like, whatever.
Or UConn women's basketball. They make a lot of money.
Like, it should be, like, reflective of what comes in.
Exactly.
Like pay them, but I guess pay them proportionately to, like, what they're bringing in. Like Harvard's football team probably not bringing in that much money.
Probably not.
So like don't pay them what an Auburn University starting quarterback makes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Pay them according to what comes in from the program.
I know. It blows my mind how people fight back about this.
Yeah.
Because like they get an education and it's like, well, no, they don't. Because they're doing this.
Dude, have you seen like I went to Auburn for a year. Then I went to the University of Colorado, which is still like a D1 Pac-12. It's not on the
and won a national championship in the 90s, and no one talks about it.
Yeah, people fucking forget that shit. People are like, Colorado's a joke at football. Like, 15 years ago, Colorado was one of the most respected football programs in the country. It's just once, like, this, like, arms race of, like, facilities and stuff that you, like, see in college football, Colorado just didn't jump the gun as fast as, like, Clemson or Alabama or Georgia or whatever. Mm-hmm. But they're working on their facilities and stuff. They have pretty good facilities now, but not at that level. But they're because they still have a shit ton of money coming into the school. They just aren't investing into the football program as much, but they're kind of starting to, because they're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, we really got to do this.
Like, but the classes that you like take with football players at a school like that, like every time you have a class, like I took a class at the University of Colorado called Sports Ethics.
I took a sports ethics class.
It was a great class. It was really cool. And it was in the athletic facilities. Mm-hmm. And every day I went to that class, there's a coach outside of the door checking attendance for football players.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like that kind of shit. They like, so, but like but you also look at like their majors and stuff, and they're like it's why whenever you read about an offensive lineman who's like an aerospace engineer major, they make a big deal out of that.
Yeah.
Because like how often do these guys, Because a lot of these guys probably don't really know like what's available to them, and then coaches just kind of tell them, "Yeah, all the football players major in communications," you know.
And they're like, okay,
They're like, "Yeah,
I'm going pro. It doesn't matter."
They don't really,
and then they
even
get
a
injured.
chance to like think about it,
Right.
you know. Like I majored in communications, so I took a lot of classes with football players, a lot of classes.
Okay.
And basketball players and shit. You know, they all loved me too. I would become buds with like football players and shit. That was kind of cool.
Did you make any connections to like that could help you in your future? No,
Oh,
Colorado.
They weren't like, let's hit a bow on the weekend. You know what I mean?
Oh, they're like, oh, here's that kid. I'll get a septum piercing and then shove it up
there's
his
that
own
goofy
nose.
Kid that we like, you know,
You're like, hello?
yeah, but it wasn't like, let's chill with Bo this weekend. You know.
We did it. We went over.
Oh yeah,
We did it.
dude, that flew by.
You want to plug anything?
I got a podcast called Talk Sauce. I host it with my buddy Jack Gardner. I run a show in New York called Waterline, and just comedy holistically. Let's plug that.
Yeah, just the spirit of comedy.
Yeah, yes.
Bo Ballew,
Thanks for having
Ted
me. buddy.
Barden,
Chris Metcalf,
Chris Metcalf.
Rich Apple.
That's going to be an apartment.